For instance, tonight in Washington, because according to CNN, top Trump officials will discuss their Epstein strategy at a dinner hosted by JD Vance. Now look, many things are shocking about that headline. First of all, this Epstein crisis has made Trump officials so desperate, they're willing to hang out with JD Vance.
JD Vance entered politics as the self-styled hillbilly prophet and working-class savior, but quickly became a politician so desperate for relevance, he makes a used car salesman look like a Nobel laureate. Stephen Colbert didn't even need new material, he just grabbed the old butter knives from his desk and shredded Vance too.
So what happened? Apparently, JD Vance wanted to go boating for his birthday, so his team requested that the Army Corps of Engineers temporarily increase the outflow from a nearby lake to the river in what's called a special release. Well, of course, on your birthday, who doesn't want a special release? Officially, this river manipulation was out of the ordinary. Normally, the Army Corps of Engineers only done their training emergency responders.
Vance built his brand as the voice of the forgotten working-class kid from Appalachia who rose from poverty to Yale Law, turning his story into hillbilly elegy, treated like scripture during the Trump era. For a moment, he was the whisperer of rural pain, explaining middle America to elite liberals who couldn't find Kentucky on a map. But somewhere between his book tour and Senate run, Vance swapped his flannel for a mega baseball cap. That's when Colbert started circling. Delighted to expose a sellout with an inflated ego, pretending he hadn't abandoned the person he once was.
Hey guys, come on in, have a seat. No, not on the couch, she's not in the mood. In addition to Vance, CNN says the dinner was to be attended by White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, Attorney General Pam Bondi, Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, and FBI Director Kash Patel, who definitely has seen some.
Vance's contradictions are so glaring they practically glow in the dark. He went from calling Trump an existential threat to democracy to groveling at his feet like a golden retriever at campaign rallies. Colbert didn't need new jokes, he just showed the before and after footage. And Vance's credibility evaporated faster than a puddle on a Phoenix sidewalk. The man who once condemned Trump is now smiling beside him like best friends at a county fair peating contest, and the audience laughed at the obvious truth.
Bombshell, folks. Vice President JD Vance is into boy bands, including the Backstreet Boys. I want it that way, which is appropriate because every time I see him, I think, tell me why. How long was I happy? Now.
The comedic brilliance of Colbert's takedown isn't just about politics, it's about the performance of ambition. JD Vance constantly changes outfits to fit the crowd. With Yale elites, he's the sharp memoirist dissecting inequality. With conservative donors, he's the firebrand railing against elites. With Trump's base, he's the loyal bulldog forgetting he once called the movement poison. Each costume change gives Colbert fresh material, like watching someone audition for every role in a play at once and forgetting which lines belong to which.
CNN report Vance's office denied he was convening this meeting. Now they're covering up the cover-up. This is worse than a conspiracy. It's a duvet. Dinner or no dinner. The eyes wide shut supper still has to decide what to do with the transcript of the Ghislaine Maxwell interview conducted by the DOJ's second in command and Trump's former Stormy Daniels sex scandal lawyer.
And what Colbert hammered mercilessly is how transparent Vance's charade is. His transformation wasn't subtle, it was a political midlife crisis. Instead of a red convertible, he bought a mega loyalty badge and started spouting conspiracy theories. The man who once marketed himself as a voice of reason now sounds like an AM radio host ranting about cultural decline between ads for male vitality pills. Colbert turned it into a running gag, likening Vance's evolution to a software update that replaced common sense with political desperation.
Unexplainable skin rash and watching Euphoria with your parents in the room. No lock for Tim Walz. Reportedly, Walz isn't as comfortable in a debate setting. Hey, buddy, we're not going to win with that kind of attitude, mister. Bring it in, coach. No, bring it in. Come on, bring it in. Sounds like you need one of your signature pregame talks. Look, Look, buddy, I want you to get out there. I want you to hunker down, find that extra gear, leave 110% of the pigskin on the 4th and down. Clear hearts, blue eyes, green clovers, purple horseshoes. Go fish, Yahtzee.
Even Vance's Senate career provides endless material. Watching him stumble through speeches feels less like statesmanship and more like a high school debate, practice stiff delivery, rehearsed outrage, and forgetting his own talking points. Colbert notes, he often seems like a man who Googled how to act like a populist and is reciting the results. The working-class hero of Hillbilly Elegy is now more likely seen schmoozing at luxury resorts. The gap between his origin story and political reality is massive. Colbert calls it the Great Disappearing Act. Vance the memoirist vanished the moment Vance the politician arrived, replaced by a knockoff Rolex version of
Not a war.
Is the United States now at war with Iran?
No, we're not at war with Iran, John. We're at war with Iran's nuclear program.
Nope. That's not how it works. Honey, I'm not cheating on you with Stacy. I'm cheating on you with parts of Stacy.
What makes Colbert's takedown of Vance so satisfying is that he barely resists. Unlike politicians who spar with comedians, Vance has the charisma of a malfunctioning printer. No comeback, no humor, no spark. He absorbs the ridicule like a soggy sponge, proving Colbert's point without trying. The man is a punchline by default, a comedic jackpot for Colbert. Beyond the laughs, Colbert highlights wasted potential. Vance once had a story that resonated across party lines, but he cashed it in for a cheap ticket to political relevance. It's like selling a winning lottery ticket for half its value too. Buy a six-pack and a switch off. Colbert frames Vance as a cautionary tale. Ambition can't replace principle. And what remains is not a statesman, but an opportunist scrambling for a spot in the political circus.
For his family boat trip on his birthday. This is such an insane, spoiled baby emperor move that I have no choice but to break out my new character, Widow Points Vance. Hear ye, I want my giveaways for my birthday. Also, I don't like how blue the sky is. Paint it red. Now give me juice box. Juice box.
Relentless, yet surgical, Colbert didn't just call Vance a hypocrite. He showed how every step of his career is self-reinvention without self-awareness. Vance keeps changing costumes but forgets to change the script, turning every performance into a comedy of errors, disguised as a Senate campaign. The Trump factor is the crown jewel of his hypocrisy, and Colbert's richest source of comedy. Watching Vance gush about Trump after years of attacking him is like watching a man eat his own Yelp reviews. Colbert delivered it masterfully. And the final blow wasn't even a joke, it was the silence after clips of Vance contradicting himself, leaving the audience laughing, groaning, and shaking their heads at the reality beneath the comedy.
There's, little indications that Trump is not thrilled with JD Vance. Okay? But JD Vance is out doing a lot more press than Donald Trump is right now. Do you have any idea of, do you hear why that might be? Are they just sort of shoving him out there and saying, JD, you get out there and walk into those rotating, blades. And once everything, because right now there's so much momentum on the Democratic side that it's kind of it's a bit of a fool's errand.
Fool's errand of trying to rescue Vance isn't just funny, it's instructive. Showing how quickly a politician can burn through credibility, goodwill, and dignity chasing relevance. Colbert didn't just roast Vance with jokes. He dismantled him with truth wrapped in laughter. And the best part, the material keeps coming. Every time Vance opens his mouth or shifts his stance, he delivers fresh fuel for Colbert. It's the gift that keeps giving, because a politician caught in hypocrisy and who pretends no one notices is comedy gold. Colbert lit the match, but Vance is the bonfire, and he doesn't seem capable of putting it out. Meaning the laughs and lessons will continue as long as he plays a role he was never meant to play.
Apple! Kill him! Kill him! Now, Netflix, call me. I'm available in June. Now,
Colbert's takedown of JD Vance also highlighted the theatricality of his Senate presence. Most senators project authority or conviction, But Vance looks like he's trying on his father's oversized suit, hoping no one notices the sleeves dragging past his wrists. He doesn't appear powerful or persuasive, more like he's a senator for a school play. Colbert had endless comedic ammunition, especially pointing out the irony of a Yale grad with Silicon Valley money posing as the coal miners' champion. Vance doesn't just straddle contradictions, he bathes in them. His brand of populism comes with a luxury car lease and private jet flights to donor dinners, not actual union halls.
Seeing JD Vance kind of single-handedly trying to take the headlines back. I mean, this is unfamiliar territory for Donald Trump, where he's not in the headlines. And actually, I watched the interview that you did with Abby Phillip, my colleague, when she was here. You predicted this. I don't know if you remember this, but I did my research, and you predicted that if Harris became the nominee, that there would be a lot of enthusiasm behind her, and that Donald Trump would not be able to break into the headlines. And that's where he is right now.
Right, he's always been able to grab the news cycle, and he can't. He's tried a couple of crazy statements lately, but people are much more excited about what's happening.
Colbert skewered
Vance as a man trying to be seen, eating fried chicken at a county fair one day, then dining on caviar the next, insisting both define him. The duplicity is cartoonish, and his rhetoric is recycled reheated leftovers from other politicians' speeches. Colbert joked that Vance's talking points feel borrowed, his outrage scripted, his patriotism rehearsed, and his authenticity left behind at his publisher's office. Vance sounds like a bad cover band of every populist before him. Worse, he inspires little loyalty even within his own tribe, with skeptics on both the left and right, unsure they can trust him.
I just want to say, look, I know that Trump's followers get a lot of grief from people going, no, you don't believe in anything. It's a cult of personality, blah, 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 meow, meow, meow. But I want to be fair here, okay? There is one thing that MAGA has believed from the beginning, and they still believe it. And that's that there is a secret cabal of top government officials who meet at shadowy dinners to strategize how to hide the sins of wealthy sex traffickers and pedophiles. They do believe that. And for that, I have never criticized them, because I'm sure
Vance is an opportunist who traded intellectual credibility for cheap politics. To the right, he's the guy who once trashed their leader and now begs for acceptance. Colbert captured it perfectly. Vance has alienated everyone yet still believes he's on a fast track to glory. Like trying to build a bridge that collapses, no matter which side he starts from. His personal brand has shrunk since his memoir Days a Career Downgrade only comedy can capture. Colbert framed it as the ultimate punchline. A man who once claimed to have the nation's ear, now clinging to relevance by shouting the same slogans as everyone else.